Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to pull back the wrench drawer and go over what I have in my wrench drawers, see what brands I use, which ones I use the most, which ones I use the least, and why I use the ones I do. Spoiler alert, I don't spend a lot of money on tools. I don't spend a lot of money on overpaying for tools just for a name, and I certainly don't use that many tool truck tools. So you'll be pretty shocked when you see what type of brands I use in here. So let's get at it. Going over the wrenches today, I'm going to go over the ones that I use the most versus the ones that I use the least. So going off of the ones that I use the most are actually these right here. These are a double boxed end ratcheting wrench from Tekton. You see that's a 16 and an 18. They come with a 6-point end on both of them, and they don't have the reversing switch on them. So for these ones, you would just have to flip it over if you need to go the other way with them. I use these things probably 99% of the time. One, because they are a 6-point box end, so I get a better grip. They're flex head, they're ratcheting, and they're long, so I can get a lot of leverage on them. So I absolutely do love using these things, and these things are always with me, under the car, on the car, whatever I'm doing there. The next ones I use quite a bit are just your normal standard combination wrenches. But when you look at my combination wrenches, they're going to be a little different than what you see in normal videos or normal mechanics. I do not use high dollar fancy combination wrenches. So there's actually a bunch of different sets here. So this one here, this one is the Crescent brand. The one right above it, that's Hyper Tough Walmart. And then this one down here, that's a Craftsman. And then over here, that is a Performax. So that's a Menard special. So for me, when I use my wrenches, I don't use them day in, day out, all day, every day. So I don't see myself needing to have to spend $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 on a wrench set. I have had these Craftsmen here for about 20 years. These are the Made in America old school Craftsman wrenches. My grandmother actually bought these for me when I was in high school because I was becoming, or I was going to school to be a bodyman for automotive collision repair. So one year for Christmas, she got me a bunch of tools and a toolbox. So that's where these Craftsmans came from. And I absolutely enjoy using these. The only issue I have with the Craftsman, and I can show you here, is that's an 11-inch Craftsman that I just had in my hand. This is a 10-inch Crescent, and as you can see, the Crescent is actually a bunch longer. So what I did, knowing that I did want longer wrenches, was I went with a Hyper Tough. And then obviously the Hyper Toughs are skip sets. So I searched the internet and I found that their Performax brand from Menards is also a skip set, but they actually have some of the sizes that the Hyper Tough didn't have in it. So I was able to piece together an entire wrench set for me. And I think I paid $15 for the Performax, paid I think another $15 for those Hyper Tough. So 30 bucks, I had a complete set of wrenches that I could use. This up here, this is my SAE side. This right here is my metric side. You see there's some missing. I'm not missing those. They're actually underneath the Subaru right now as I redo the power steering there. But I just wanted to show you that I get the job done and I can successfully do the jobs that I need to both on the car and around the house with using Hyper Tough, Crescent brand, Craftsman, Performax. I don't need Snap-on, Matco, anything like that. But that does lead me into my third most used set of wrenches, and that is over here, and that is in fact my Max set. So I had never in my life ever used a tool truck high dollar brand tool until I used these Mac right here. So complete preference here is I work for a bank. I'm a business banker. I work with business owners. And a guy that's just started a new Mack truck route came in to open his business accounts. We got to talking. He said, hey, I'll give you a deal on these ratcheting flex head wrenches just so you can try them out. And that's also a thank you for helping me get my accounts and my business set up. So I ended up paying, I believe it was $180 for both the SAE and the metric set. I do use these quite a bit, but my only gripe with them is, one, they're very short. So this 13-inch or this 13 millimeter wrench is about the same size as my 10 millimeter box end. So they are short. I've never had one break, but they do sometimes feel like they are going to break if I have to get some high leverage on the ratcheting part. So they do have a lot of bend and a lot of flex to them. That was one of the reasons that I ended up upgrading to the longer ratcheting flex heads from Tekton. They're really good, but I don't see, and again, when I say I don't see value for me spending the $400 or $500 that these actually cost versus the $30 I spent on this section here, because they do the same thing. They get the job done the same way. I've never had these fail or break on me. I'm sure they will at some point. I mean, if I look at some of these old Craftsmans, they are getting rusty. But to me, the rust just means that they're well broken in. Over here, again, I don't anticipate them breaking. Obviously, with these Tektons will break. So this is actually a broken one here. I don't remember which side's broken. I think it's this side here. Yeah. Nope, never mind. That one's not the broken one. So there is a broken one somewhere. I just don't remember what happened to it. But with that one, the ratcheting part actually broke on it. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I think I paid $60 for this full set, but it has a unlimited lifetime warranty. I snapped a picture, sent it to Tekton. Tekton sent me out a new one and overnighted it to me. With Mac, if these break, I just got to find a Mac tool truck guy and he'll replace it for me. With these ones, if they break, you buy new wrenches. But some of these are anywhere from 10 to 20 years old, have yet to break on me. So if one does break, no harm, no foul. I got 10 to 20 years out of them. Next wrenches that I use quite a bit, and these are actually newer to my collection, but they've really been going pretty good for me, and I'm probably going to change some more over, is this Quinn set here. So these are the Quinn flare nut wrench set. I've never used anything by Quinn, but I seen a YouTube video from, I want to say it was CP the Tool Addict, may have been the Den of Tools, I don't remember, it was one of those two guys, talking about how Quinn really stepped their game up. So I needed a flare nut wrench set for a power steering lines that I was doing. So I went to Harbor Freight, picked up these Quinns, and I gotta say, I really like those. Those are some really nice tools for the price. And if these combination wrenches were ever to fail on me, I might switch over to Quinn just to see what Quinn does, because they are really good tools, or really good wrenches. I've heard their sockets, their new socket sets that's come out have been really good too. I may even end up trying some of those at some point. I don't know, but from what I've seen from them, they're really good tools. But let me know in the comments, have you used anything by Quinn? Do you like Quinn? I mean, the reviews I've heard, they're pretty good. That flare nut wrench set here that I got, pretty damn good. So I think that might be the next tool brand that I try on. The last wrench set that I own, but I really honestly don't ever use, I've never used them once, are these SAE offsetting wrench sets. So this was during my, I want to buy as many tools as I can for absolutely no reason, a phase of life I was in. So these are the Pittsburgh brand. They don't even say Pittsburgh on them, but they're Pittsburgh brand. They got them from Harbor Freight. They are SAE, but I've never once needed them or used them. I mean, be quite honest, I couldn't tell you the last time I needed anything SAE. Everything's metric for me. So that could be one thing. The second thing is I've just never found a need for these that any of these other wrenches couldn't do for me. But I do have them just in case there's that really weird one off time that I do need them. I have them. So they're in there. I can't tell you good, bad, or anything like that, but I think I paid 15 bucks for them. So they look good for 15 bucks sitting in the toolbox. That's about all they do. And then I also do have my adjustable wrenches. I never use these on a car. I've never found a need for it, but I do a lot of plumbing stuff in my house, plus my mom's and my aunt's camper, so I help with winterizing that. Those come in handy for there. They also come in handy when I'm moving air chucks and different types of air tool adapters. So that's about the only time I ever use those. And there's a whole bunch of different style or different brands there. Got a Hart, a Stanley, I think that's a Black & Decker, and another Hart. They work. They've never failed on me. I haven't broken one yet. They get the job done. So I don't have a giant wrench set, or wrench collection, I should say, but the ones I do have get the job done. And one of the reasons I did want to make this video is just to show people that you don't need to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tools, or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of tools, just to get the job done. I overpaid on the Mac. To this day, I'll tell you that they're not worth the money that was paid for them, or I should say they're not worth the money that you would pay for them. Luckily, I got them on a deal. Anything, I would go to an Icon brand. I'm looking at Tecton. Tecton's probably my absolute favorite tool brand. But if you're just a DIY guy, I don't see why you can't just use Hyper Tough, Crescent, Performax. I mean, I can't really say anything about modern day Craftsman. I heard they're kind of junky. I can't say anything to them, but they can't be worse than Hyper Tough, Crescent, and Performax, and they've worked great for me, so I'm sure they'd work great for you too. But yeah, that is my wrench drawer. I also do keep my breaker bars in this drawer. Those are Pittsburgh, but that's going to be for a different video and a different time when we go over what my sockets look like. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. Leave me a comment. What's your favorite tools? Are you someone that feels that you need to have the high dollar Snap-on, Mac, Matco? Or are you someone like me who would rather just get the most bang for my buck and get something that will last or work for me, even if it's a smaller price or a lesser quality, as some people would say? Leave me a comment and let me know. I appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in another one.